Hello, everyone. Blue Star Saber here with LuckyRave as we discuss another Dead Rock review, Chapter 20.
And it's like what we promised last week. We were gonna do this stream the week it came out. And thankfully it worked out that way. Thankfully.
Yes, they're a bit later than I would have liked, but anyway, the chapter is titled He Katonecheri?
Oh, a Hekatoshiri is what it's called.
Hekatoshinary. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Apologies for my pronunciation then.
Oh no, the blue, don't worry. I kind of struggled with pronouncing it during the first chapter. I was like, wait, what the hell? I was like, how do you even say that? But then once I uh, saw the pronunciation of it, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, well, basically, this chapter follows the continuation of the last one, in which you had Frey versus Lausanne, one of the Demon 4 teachers, pretty much the 4 strongest teachers at Dead Rock.
One of them's already gone. The other one, wow.
Basically, has become a slave.
Yep.
And another one is possibly in a relationship with God himself.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't.
But no, granted, she seems to be the active one yet, though. Basically, let's see, as we know, this is a tournament. Let's see, the field trip day is basically a tournament where students and teachers battle to the death, and the winner will get the class gets an audience with God.
Yep.
Basically, all the matches have been taking place, with the exception of Lausanne versus Frey, who is arguably one of the main, if not the main, female character of Dead Rock, who has been waiting to have revenge against him for the murder of her, well, basically sister.
Yep.
As a result, let's see. As a result of that, they've finally had their fight. At first, Frey looked like she is having the advantage, but only to then, let's see, Lausanne to take the stage, and then Frey determined to try and win. Not to mention confessing that she does actually seemingly have some feelings for,
for Yakuto.
Yeah, for Yakuto. Ends up getting a bit of a boost of power after losing her arm, getting a sort of flame arm, if you will. And let's see, they have a final witty epic clash, if you will. And we are now finding out the results of this fight in this chapter. Though before we begin, we've got the cover panel of God over Dead Rock School, which it's actually kind of nice panel, I will admit.
It is.
Let's see. So, but yeah, basically, it's the main antagonist just looking around as his school's in the background, showing just how tied he is to the school, if you will.
100%.
Oops. Anyway, onto the actual chapter itself. Basically, you get the explosion from the class with sort of the similar panel from the last page of Yakuto.
Oh, actually, so here, let me chime in on this real quick. So the first page, I'm not even joking here, is literally beat for beat the same as the last page from chapter 19. So it's the same page.
So basically, Hero's getting a bit lazy. You're being lazy, Hero.
I mean, in this instance, I mean, considering that this comes out on a monthly schedule.
Well, okay, I suppose you can get a bit of a pass, though. I'm curious to see whether or not the volumes will keep, this page and last chapter's page and it's the same thing, really.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you think about it, having this be the starting page for the chapter, it's not that bad.
In some ways, you could say it's sort of like a recap.
Just a quick recap. Super minor recap, anyway. But keep going.
But yeah, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see how the volumes go. But basically, they look on. Then we see.
We got Ryzen's reaction. Got Mikoto's reaction. Honey and Zalesia.
or Chakako, if depending on how you want to pronounce it.
Yeah, they're both like trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah. So and then of course you've got like image of what appears to be Lausanne's face or mask from like
Mhm.
the first stage, and then you've got Lilith.
Lilith isn't really that surprised, but she's like, "Yeah, that's kind of what I expected."
So yeah, you've basically got basically that aspect.
Yakato's in shock.
Yep. As it looks like let's see, Frey has lost. As you see, let's see Lausanne with his fist. Let's see, with his fist up forward and being held by let's see, by his other arm. As the announcer goes like, Lothar Sensei's the one still standing. The class is the school is cheering, except for the members of Class F.
Yep, Honey's saying no. Choco crying like Frey, but then you get the next panel.
Oh yeah, and then you see Frey is still basically there.
And I'm gonna quote what I said during my stream, which is that Frey's lucky she didn't get the Lloyd, the Virgio, or the Death treatment to where nothing was left of her.
Oh yeah, oh yes. Previous characters in this tournament have been just pretty much been destroyed. But
Yeah.
yeah, but see, the announcer goes like, "Oh, what's this? Frey's looking bad, but she's still alive." Thinking how that this macho fist didn't obliterate her and all that. Much to like her smirking, Yakuza looking surprised, and Lausanne also looking surprised, but then noticing some black flames around his mask, and
Mhm.
then boom, a massive flame.
And he's screaming no.
Yep, basically, as he blows up, shocking the announcer, Lilith surprised, student surprised as Lausanne burns to death, as Freda says, I did it, big sis. And you get the school now cheering as the announcer says, unbelievable, Freykun has defeated Lausanne Sensei, depending on which translation I guess you read. The members of Class F smiling and celebrating. Members of the other classes being a bit shocked and surprised. Lilith going like, impossible. A student couldn't kill one of the 4 demon teachers. And God explains origin root, saying,
And
oh,
he's unfazed.
yeah,
he again, the fact that he didn't give a shit about the vice principal being taken out and now Lozen's being taken out and he's still unfazed. I don't know, dude. I
yeah.
don't know.
At the very least, he does not care for at least 3 out of the 4 demon teachers, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. For I can let's see. Given what he also said about the what's the other one called again?
Baltigore?
Oh yeah, Baltigore. When he was disappointed in his reaction, at the very least, at least Lilith seems to be his favorite.
Yeah. I mean, I can
Oh
see why.
yes,
For his taste anyway.
yeah. Given what we saw in the first chapter, yes, I can probably imagine why.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not he actually cares for her, we have yet to see. But explains to her origin root, saying that those who can use their power of their root's originator, Ifrit, for example, to the max, are also known as origin roots. So apparently,
It's a nice introduction into, you know, what Frey was able to do.
yeah. So basically, explaining it's the sort of advanced, basically more advanced kind of part of like the roots, if you will.
Yeah.
From what I can what I can summarize from it, it seems to be more of like at the core of their power, if you will.
Yeah. And I do like this expression on Frey's face as explaining it. This is a really cool face.
Let's see. Anyway, Lilith seems a bit surprised by this because it's like, wait, this power shouldn't be, possible, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But
God says it's born from the combination of strong emotion, innate ability, and the right sense, which gets him smirking as he's saying that.
Oh yeah. Let's see. So basically, oops, sorry, I went a bit down too fast. Saying,
You're good.
let's see, combination of strong and abilities, their ability and their right sense. So basically, hyping up sort of like the emotions and personalities for Ing, saying how. Let's see, going about how fascinating it is, saying that top students are always more than welcome, if you will.
Yeah. You know, something about this panel that I want to point out here. So we see Ryzen, we see Honey, we see Zalesia. We don't see Mikoto here. And I don't know if that jumped out at you, but at first I was thinking, I wonder if Hero kind of, because this happens with serialization works, whether it's like monthly or weekly, but sometimes like there's a detail or something that the author either might have messed up on or just forgot to include, right? I mean, key example here, y'all know I don't talk about Naruto as much these days, but there's a and Blue's gonna know exactly what I'm talking about here. The Obito flashback with the Hokage faces when Obito's
Oh,
looking back at Minato, or not Minato, but like at the statues, and you see Minato's face is clearly there when it shouldn't be. Do y'all not remember? I mean, some of y'all probably weren't around at the time, but I remember there was a big uproar when that chapter came out. They're like, is Keishi breaking continuity?
well,
Like,
no, so you let's see. Arguably, in some ways, you could say he was not just with the map. Let's see the Hokage statue that was later turned out to be an error, but also the fact that it seems like every one of the adult Jonin characters we know, let's see, were basically all from the same generation as Kakashi, and they all graduated at the same time, from the looks of things.
yeah.
Despite previous
So,
data books and all that. But arguably that one was corrected, and then basically what everyone else complained about was basically what Kakashi ended up basically just complaining about Obito if they didn't like the mask reveal pretty much. But yeah,
yeah.
as for like this
I was gonna say in that similar instance, maybe that's what happened to Hero. Is that like, you know, Mikoto was probably meant to be included, but it was because of like time constraints.
well, it is possibly one of the factors about it, but
Hmm.
another one could be that you could just be more of a Mikoto's character, not a Russian and like let's see group hug kind of situation.
Maybe that too.
Because frankly, it does kind of feel like
Like ever since we found out about her being in Ghost, yeah,
yeah. Let's see, she's not supposed to get too emotionally attached and all that stuff. So
yeah. There's that too. I just thought that kind of jumped out at me. I was like, huh,
yeah.
she's not there.
And basically, these ones are the more like getting close. These are the ones that more getting close to Frey to begin with. But anyway,
And also for all you Yaku phrase shippers out there, y'all are getting your moment right over here.
yeah.
But them
But
check it out. Man.
but God is also being fascinated that the Black Dragon was the only origin route, if you will.
And we've been saying this for months. Like he has been keeping a dead eye on Yakuto like ever since he went in those Black Dragon forms. So
Yeah, he probably has an idea who he is.
mhm.
And probably knows that he's probably after his life. But anyway, you get like the students going like, "What's going on? She beat a teacher, Lozan Sensei even," and going like, "Are you serious? No way." Rising carrying Frey and saying, "Leave her to us," saying that we'll take her to the infirmary. As I think we just then got
Oh,
Mikito
see, yeah,
showing
but
up.
yeah, see, yeah, Mikoto's right there. That's the
So
thing.
arguably, you could be right that this is an error.
Yeah,
With Yakuyo just saying okay, and Honey
Chaco's
remains.
saying you're up next.
Oh yeah, Chaco. Sorry, it's my mistake. Honey's
Yeah.
just waving.
Hmm.
But as Frey's being carried around, you got Chaco doing the thumbs up, saying here was how she was incredible. Let's see. So you got that. As she says, you handle the rest, saying how she's out. with Yakuto saying he will, and then we know.
It's honestly, I was gonna say, it's a nice kind of a bit of a reversal where he was cheering her on, and now she's doing the same thing with him.
Yep. As he promises to say he will win. But anyway, the announcer says, "Well, that's it for for round one," saying it's now time for the semi-finals.
Mm-hmm. And
But
while all that's going down,
yeah, we cut to like somewhere in the Dead Rock schoolhouse, as you get a bunch of what appears to be a bunch of punk students.
bunch of nobodies. I'm gonna just call them nobody one, nobody two, nobody three.
Yes, you got what appears to be one trying to imitate the sort of stereotypical Japanese punk hair. One of them wearing the sort of face masks, which depending on which part of the world you go to, will go like, "Oh, I'm offended," but yeah, because of
Right.
the anti-COVID situation.
Yeah.
Let's see, and then you've got let's see the sort of pointy-headed dude saying, "Hurry up, Class F's next." This appears to have some sort of tattoo on his head,
Mm-hmm.
saying how they can help themselves to whatever they want. As then we finally get
Oh, Babel, yeah.
let's see, Babel finally ends up appearing.
Well, here's the thing. The second I read the chapter title called Hecaton Share, I was like, oh, he's gonna show up.
Yeah, basically it seems like the chapter is aiming for basically that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, the students at work go like, who is this guy? He ain't a student, and he goes like he agreed. They're surprised that he ends up talking and talks about field day.
Yeah,
Thinks that
because he hasn't really talked at all since he first appeared.
yeah, but basically he's saying he thinks the whole thing is sort of like asking if they think it's stupid too. But oops,
Mm-hmm.
more images
You're good.
saying that whatever you're doing in your, he's asking what they're doing in his classroom as he gets out his hands, if you will.
Yep.
And then the students realize who he is, saying that
They're
he's the
like, oh shit, he's the guy that went missing.
yep, going like Bebabble the
Hecaton Share, yeah.
Hecatontionary. So yeah, basically it's naming him. Let's see, as he goes on, this is his friend's class. One of the masked one being shocked your friend as he unmasks himself, seemingly giving himself a sort of a Luxus lightning mark face, if you will.
See, I thought about Loxus, but then I also kind of thought about Let from Rave Master. He kind of has, it's kind of like a blend between the two.
Yeah, that's yeah. It's been a while since I've read Lave Master, so I can't quite remember who led fully as LuckyRave. I will be honest, but
Okay. Well, I'm just only saying that right now because I've been going
but
through.
I don't know, like Luxus with like say, you see Hollywood's Frankenstein eyes.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's the best way I can seemingly describe it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the fact that he says Yakuto-kun, I'm just like, okay, now, okay, there's obviously this raises more questions than answers, but at the same time, I'm kind of thinking like that does kind of explain why he decided to, you know, stay on the down low to a degree.
Yeah, so it seems like he has some it's a history with Yakuto.
Hmm.
And then he ends up seemingly beating up the students, possibly beating them to death pretty much with this multiple arm attack thing as he unmasks himself.
I mean, if I remember correctly, like let me look at the lore of this real quick. The Hackathon series, right? Because usually, from what I remember, if I look at them, yeah. So usually they've got like, okay, not a lot of hands per se, but
But yeah, basically, he killed some intruders that were in Yakuto's classroom.
Okay, yeah. So they have like 100 hands, basically.
Yep.
That's what they have.
In many ways, I suppose you could say it's what basically I think the same sort of law thing that was based on Ashiyama's ultimate wood style attack.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the students are beaten to a pulp, and he just says how he wants to see Yakuto again. So
Now, here's the question I want to ask you here. Just based on this panel alone, does that give off like a friendly kind of vibe, or more like, like something fishy?
I have a feeling like they're not going to be on the best terms.
That's what it seemed like. Because at first I was like, "Oh, a friend, okay," but then you get to this panel, and I'm just like thinking, like, hold on, like, are we talking in the literal sense or like something else?
It's possible they might have been friends at one point, but they may have turned into enemies.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to wait and see. Because at the moment, this is pretty much the ultimate wild card in Hiro Mashima's story.
Here's the theory I have, and again, this could just be me speculating here. What if Babel's the one that trained Yakato?
So you're saying he's basically his teacher.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's a very strong possibility, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, I don't think we'll find out until like after the tournament, of course.
Oh yeah, no. Unless, and here's another big thing, because most tournaments get interrupted.
That is
So,
true.
so unless Babel does something right here, right now, then you know.
Basically, a tournament has 50-50 chance of completing in a natural order.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But anyway, you got the announcer showing the score results of like who won and who lost.
Yep.
I was saying when everyone left in the semi-finals are first year and going seriously. This year's first years or something else. And notice how the scoreboard basically also has them. Sorry, what?
No, go on. I didn't say anything.
Okay. Basically, let's see. Notice how the scoreboard has them all on the left corner of each of their matchups.
I didn't even notice that the first time. You are right. What the hell? Huh?
But yeah, basically you had their like sort of let's see, the other one let's see, one was basically being a first year student, which surprises everyone in the school. And then now let's see, getting excited for the first match of the semi-finals
Mm-hmm.
and saying how two students who made it through the round with overwhelming strength, basically nearly one shotting their opponents really.
Yep.
Yokota from Class 1F versus Setsuna from Class 1B. With her asking Yokota how the fire girl was your classmate, right? Saying how she wished she could have had a fight with her to see which of their flames were like hotter. With Yokota saying it's a shame you missed out, noting that he's going to beat her. And
Oh yeah,
then,
no, y'all can tell right now he ain't playing any games. He means
oh yeah, he's serious.
Yep.
You can tell by his expression. The bell is wrong. The students cheer as he thinks, saying how he can't lose until he beats God. Thinking back to like his parents, for some reason the panel where his father's getting all lusty and dragging his wife away.
This is a pretty funny panel, though. I have to admit.
Uh-huh. But
I mean, this is like one of the only times you get to see his parents on the same panels. You know.
I suppose that's one way of doing it. If like just want to reuse certain scenes.
Mm-hmm.
No, let's see. Some might say he's being lazy, but anyway, he goes like, "Not until I kill the one who stole away my family, my friends, everyone." So it says, thinking how even though he has nothing against her, he needs to make her disappear. As he transforms his arm into like the Black Dragon arm, using a move called the Black Dragon's Fist of Obliteration. While Setsuna uses the Soulfire Fox Moon on her arm, a sort of igniting flames. Nine-tailed fox's tails coming out of her back as they clash. They try to punch and kick each other. As the announcer goes about how fierce their offense and defense are, Hani comments how she's evenly matched with Yakuto. But Shakiko going like, stupid head. Yakuto's stronger, obviously, and all that.
I never get tired of their banter. The
Yeah,
banter's
they're basically like the two mascots, at least when Shakiko's in like her bird film.
right.
But yeah, basically, you're getting like one of Yakuto's kicks that pushes her away with arguably the main, probably Yakuto's final opponent,
E.T. Yeah.
E.G. commenting that Yakuto's better. But Setsuna thinks how she can't lose now. Thinking of this girl called Yuri, at least I assume it's a girl. It could be a boy.
I think they referenced her during her, when was it, not last chapter.
Her match against the squiggly guy.
Yeah, against Virgil. Yeah.
Yeah, as let's see, we see a sort of black-haired Nika, or maybe Wolf Kid, for all I know.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I might be. Yeah, I think it might be a wolf one. Anyway, he ends up smiling. Let's see, and she's thinking of him, and they're sort of like she's now close up to Yakuto, grabbing his collar
Yeah.
blow, talking about how she's gonna meet God, and which surprises Yakuto as
He's like, God.
yeah. See, as the announcer goes like, "Oh, they appear to be talking about something," but he can't really hear what this is and all that stuff. I'm hearing an echo of my voice.
Keep going.
Anyway, let's see. As the announcer says he can't hear them, she goes about how this is a secret, okay, which you get a close up of her lips, as you get then a double panel of her saying that she's going to kill God, saying that she's got to kill him, which surprises Yakuto because it's like
He
someone.
didn't even take into account that, wait, there's another person out here that wants to kill him just as much as I do?
Yeah, he has the same goal, though. Granted, he should not have been surprised the moment when Chakata was like in that her human form, talking about killing God as well.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, she goes like, "So if I lose here, I can't beat God." As he thinks more and more to someone who has the same goal as me, and then she does some fiery flame fist, blowing up Yakuto, shocking Hanin. And Chaka at the end.
I love Chaco's reaction. She's like, what the heck happened?
Yeah, it's like, this shouldn't be happening.
Even Eiji's a bit surprised. He's like, wait, did he just get slow all of a sudden?
Because it's like, yeah, let's see, he shouldn't have done that. The students or all the spectators about getting confused. What is going on? But Yakuto is just smiling, saying, we shouldn't be killing each other. I gotta get her on my side, and that basically ends the chapter as Yakuto feels like, ooh, a potential ally.
See, I'm glad that's the same thought you came to, because to be fair, when I saw that look on his face, I'm like, okay, he's not looking there to make a friend. He's thinking, yeah, I could use her. That's the kind of look he has on his face right now. Now, do I think eventually that if, let's just say, this whole partnership works out, right? Do I think there's a friendship that could happen between the two of them? Probably, but
Let's see. Arguably, if she and Frey somehow survive this, you could possibly see a love triangle.
I don't know about. Wow, I didn't even consider the love triangle part of it, but
Face it, you've got two flame chicks that might be into like the Black Dragon.
I mean, look at. See, I was gonna say Fairy Tale's a weird one because you had Lucy and Lisana, but that whole situation was
That never worked.
that's a weird situation. It's weird. in its own way.
Honestly, it seems like the moment Hero brought her back, he just had Letty Lasana sort of forget that she had that sort of like sort of thing for Natsu, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, keep this in mind, guys. The only girl out of all of Hiro Mashima's stories that ever like expressed, and I'm not even females. I'm talking about just female leads. The only female lead that what's the word I want to use here got jealous over other girls like on top of their man was Ellie when it came to Haru, like interacting with other girls. Like
Oh yeah,
she's the only one that's acted like.
yeah, especially I would say when the mermaid Chitzy kissed him.
I mean, yeah, okay. Now, did Ellie ever go full Juvia mode? No, of course not. But
No.
you could tell in the back of her mind she was just like, she's getting too chummy with them. I don't like that.
Yep. Let's see. Now, granted, let's see. This is still speculation, and for all we know, this still cannot happen.
hmm
But yeah, it really depends on how Hiro wants to play this. But at the moment, Yakuto's thinking on his like player move of like, ooh, another ally I can recruit to destroy God.
hmm
Because that is basically his goal.
Yeah.
So but yeah, we'll get
I
more.
think here's the other thing. There's still a lot about Yakuto we don't really know about. Like, okay, yeah, we know the reason why he wants to kill God, but there's a lot when I say of that we don't know about it is that we don't know what happened post him, losing his loved ones, right?
Yeah, but yeah, but yeah. Let's see whether or not that love triangle will play out. Because frankly, Hero's
I
gonna
just
miss.
think Blue's looking for another love triangle. Excuse me.
I know. I'm just thinking. I just to see if he does something that he could have done with Fairy Tale, which frankly I think he didn't actually let's see do because well he never really planned to have Lasana brought back since I think it was an editor that wanted to have.
That's what I do remember. Yeah, I think that was an editor's thing.
So it's like probably why nothing was ever done with that.
Yeah,
Which might be why, if you get it here, that's probably because this is more, let's see, planned in the let's see, long term than Fairy Tale was. But anyway, besides a minor criticism of like a few rehash shots, what do you make of like how quickly the Frey and Lazon fight ended at this point?
okay. And this is something I did bring up during my own stream that I did, but the end result of the fight, I actually do like. I do think the end result of that is cool. Now, do I think you could have maybe spent the first third of the chapter focused on like say like a few more skirmishes between Lozen and Frey, and then get that conclusion? Yeah, you can still have that technically, but and then I kind of looked at this and I thought, well, you basically had the whole last chapter. And no, because and it's funny when you think about this because if you look at this from like an average like weekly standpoint, Dead Rock basically takes two chapters and puts them together. So from a technical sense, that was technically the equivalent of two chapters with Frey versus Lozen, and this one's kind of the wrap up of it. But
I will admit the fight was a much shorter. Though. I think Hero managed to do everything he wanted to do in this fight. Though, granted, we'll have to wait and see if there's an even bigger fight going on. At the very least, I assume Yakato versus Enji, which I assume is going to be the final matchup, is going to be 2 chapters.
yeah, well, okay. Here's the question I have. So, okay, Frey gets to live to see another day, which is great. Um, that still begs the question, though: is she still gonna be able to fight? Because right now, with her injuries, I don't know. She's a lot more handicapped now. I mean, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's just losing a hand." I mean, look, here's the thing. two hands is better than one. You know? So
Well, I think it really depends on like a god. It might be that he will like no excuses, go in and fight.
mm-hmm.
I could
That's a
totally.
I mean, keep in mind this is called Dead or Alive, so
Yeah, so it's like he intends to probably have this tournament follow out, which is going to be arguably interesting because it's, as we know, Yakuto wants to recruit Setsuna, but it's like he has to actually kill her. But it's like okay, how can you find a way to get like a Setsuna? Let's see.
and you know, I thought about this during my stream yesterday, and I think the answer's right in front of us. I think Babel's going to be the one that disrupts this whole thing.
Okay.
I think so. Because I'm like thinking, why introduce it? Because technically, since this whole arc started, like he was there. Like if you remember, like like when they went underground, like he was kind of the one that initiated it.
Mhm.
So you see that, and then you see him again here, and I'm just thinking, like from a writer standpoint, like okay, so if you're bringing him in right now, and I mean, let's look back at the last panel he had in this chapter. So the very last thing he says is Yakuto-kun, I want to see you again soon. And if you consider the distance of where he's at from the death arena, he's really not that far.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's possible, but we'll get more into that in a bit. But yeah, well, that is one possibility of how to keep Frey and perhaps Setsuna alive. Though, granted, one thing you could argue against Frey at the very least is that her character has now probably been complete as she's now avenged her sister. So it's like, yeah, she can arguably die next and have her story complete pretty much at that point.
mhm,
Here, I want to go that dark.
if he wants to, but here's the other crazy thing that I just thought about, and I know I mentioned this. 3 out of the 14 demon teas have already been dealt with. If you really look at it,
Yes.
like Brett is dead. Um, and we already talked about Baldacor. He is a slave to Mikoto, so
Yeah.
he has his arms tied, and then
Yeah.
Lozen's dead. So the only person you have left is Lilith.
Well, I think this is arguably why you have the flashback of Yokota's dad being a part of this elite bodyguard group for God, which
Mhm.
I have pretty much certain, I have no doubt are going to play a role after all the teachers are gone.
I know. I do feel like that's going to be the case too, but
Because it's like, why introduce that concept, Itzy, if you're not going to Itzy show the remaining members?
well, keep in mind, Ghost got introduced like just like if you think about it, like just like 5 chapters ago, and you see slowly but surely they're playing their role in here. So
Mhm.
I
But
do
yeah,
expect something.
But yeah, but there's also like the fact that I think Hero is known to at least for most of his manga, introduce a group of 4 villains. Let's see, first and then later a group of 6, which usually end up being the Arashi 6.
Yeah, and I'll say this: the Orashion Six. I mean, I can't say they've played a huge role in Fairy Tail outside of like 1 or 2 arcs, but
Yeah, that's arguably the most minor time he has ever used them. But in the
yeah, but like
majority,
I was gonna say, if you looked at like Rave Master, Eden Zero, and
far major.
okay, he doesn't even okay. And for Farmaki is a weird one because he's not even writing the story for that. That's why I say that one's a little bit weird, but it does have his design on it, so
Yeah. The very least, he seems to have given them permission to use the Arashi 6.
yeah,
But yeah, so arguably you could pretty much have this probably next group be a sort of Arashi 6, if you will.
yeah. Well, this could yeah, and if here's the funny thing, this could be kind of the reverse of what happened with Rave Master, to where you originally started off with the Arashi 6, and then And I only know this right now because I'm close to finishing up my reread of it. But then you go to like the four demons for the final arc.
Yeah,
So it could be a reverse of that, to where you start off with the four demon teachers and then you transition into whatever the six are.
yeah, which could possibly work since the class F is currently 6 students.
Yeah.
So who knows? There's at least one for each of them, but of course we have to wait and see if that is going to be the case.
Hmm.
But anyway, but I do like how the tournament at first goes the standard classic of like, oh, it looks like the bad guy won, if you will. But it's like, nope, the good guy won.
Yeah.
And I just love like the sort of like reaction Lozan has when he seems to be like, let's see, burning from like his like Frey's punch.
I mean, listen, and you and I talked about this when we found out about these, like, dead students and whatnot, doing what they're like, him using them as puppets for like his own, implied methods, if you will.
Mhm.
So, in a sense, I think he got what he deserved.
Burning to death.
Hmm.
Arguably, you probably could be. Arguably, I can see where I can probably agree with that.
Well, and also, you know how fitting this is? Like, Frey finds out, you know, Lo Zin's been using your sister, like, as a puppet this whole time in the death arena. So I do think it's fitting that they have their final confrontation here and, you know, settling the score with them. I do think that's fitting.
Fair enough. Hmm. So, but yeah, I did like how you got most of the students shocked, but you basically got God explaining like another stage to like the root abilities origin root, and
In the
that is
same place, too, actually. Wow. Oh my god. He finds out about Yagata being the Black Dragon, and the same place he finds out about Frey with her ability. It's like, what are the odds of that?
yeah, yeah, and arguably taking an interest and probably going to try and destroy them both. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see in that regard.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, but I do like how
And then listen, before anyone talks about how bullshit this is that Frey won, she didn't come out of this unscathed, okay? Like, if she came out of this and was 100% fine, I would have had a lot more issues with this. But
she basically lost an arm.
yeah, she lost an arm, and she came out of this with like severe burns. Like,
Basically, she's been Skywalkered.
oh my god, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Holy shit! And the right hand, and it's also the right hand. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
I just had to make a Star Wars reference.
Wait, oh, Rey's a Skywalker. So how come her right hand didn't come off? You want to explain that answer, Blue? Why did Rey's hand not come off? She's a Skywalker too.
um, I guess you have to be blood related to Skywalker.
Oh, that sounds like an excuse. You're breaking your own lore, Blue. You're breaking your own lore.
I don't know. I think it's to be fair, I think it's just more of Disney just trying to let's see subvert expectations.
I mean, she could have lost the left hand. It didn't have to be right.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it seems like Disney decided no, we can't do that to Ray for some reason.
Shoot, if you wanted to, have her lose a leg.
Oh man.
Dang.
Anyway, enough of maiming. Let's see, maiming Star Wars characters. But yeah, we basically learned that. Let's see, it's interesting how let's see how it seems to be a let's see the origin root is a mix of motions of like combination of strong emotions,
Hmm.
initiative ability, and of course strength in oneself, if you will.
Hmm.
And basically, he's learning that Class F is at least have two of these and maybe a third one if we being honest with ourselves.
Yep.
But we'll have to wait and see. But I do like how he's paying more attention to Yakuto.
Oh yeah, and then again, he's been mad focused on Yagato like since the Black Dragon thing. It's like, Wait a second. Where have I seen this before?
Mm-hmm. But anyway, you do get like a little nice conversation between Frey and Yakuto as she says, "You handle the rest. I'm out." And he's going like he will, all serious, which might imply that either one, she's going to forfeit for the rest of the tournament as she's unable to fight, or two is that she's still preparing to willing to have her life taken in order to have Yakuto complete his goals.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like wondering, like, I wonder if like this is leading to like her being like completely out of the tournament, or you know,
Mm-hmm.
one of those ordeals.
But yeah. But anyway, I think it's time we talked of our mystery fella,
Babel.
Bevo,
Mm,
who takes down a bunch of punk students, which, to be fair, there's always going to be students that skip a school event like this.
yep.
Just muck about. It seems they're mucking about in Class F's. Let's
I
see.
mean, let's be fair. I think a lot of us have done that at least once, probably.
I don't think I've ever did that with my school. I mean, I thought, let's see, arguably because I didn't want to get in trouble.
Well, yeah, okay, I never did that, obviously.
But we've at least probably know at least one student that's done this.
Mm-hmm.
At least one troublemaker we can think of.
Yep.
So, but yeah. But anyway, I do like to just basically be used as having these students used as a way of showing off Bibabel's fighting techniques, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest shock is that okay, the fact that he's not some sort of insectoid, if you will, but actually he looks sort of like a human-like devil, minus sort of like all the extra hands, if you will, extra pair of hands. But also the fact that he ends up seemingly knows Yakuto, which I think you've made a few theories of what you speculate about possibly being his teacher or something, but yeah. The only question is to find out whether or not he's a wild card that's on Yakuto's side or against him, or maybe a third faction, if you will.
That's why I'm like, wait, hold on. Wait, we talked about the Arashi on Sace, right? What if he's a part of that? Oh my god, Blue, I think we just cracked the code.
Uh-huh. Possibly. It's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But arguably he is basically look, interesting enough, I wouldn't say he is actually the main shocking twist of the chapter, despite the fact that we finally got like that words of, "Oh, I know Yakoto." It's Yakoto.
Yeah. Like, it's not, okay, it's not really shocking, it's more of just like, oh, okay, so they know each other. Or at least he knows Yakuto to some extent.
Yeah. Now, granted, I have no idea if he's like a youngin, like the members of Class F, or one of the more older demons, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And again, I'm just thinking like what, like we've only seen Babel in like shards, like here and there, because he showed up in chapter 1 very briefly. Mikoto mentions him in chapter 7. I think yeah, chapter 7.
Uh-huh.
You see him very briefly when this arc first started, and now he's here. So,
It's like, what am I going to do with this fella?
mm-hmm. That's why, like, I'm saying that I think if anything, he's gonna be the guy that disrupts the tournament.
Yeah. But we'll have to wait and see and that. But it's
Because I'm trying to remember the Hunter exam. Well, it's not Hunter, but didn't the Hunter exams get interrupted too, or is that just Naruto?
if I had to guess, I'd say it's just Naruto.
That's okay. Because Orochimaru came in and just said nope. He said fuck this shit.
Mhm.
I love how chill you are about this too. You're just like, yeah, this is the student exams. No one really cares about it.
But yeah. But arguably, it'll probably be listen to the tournament to these two meet each other. But yeah, I do like how it's pointed out that first year's survived, and it's always the one in the sort of left box corner.
See, and I thought Setsuna was a second year, but okay, knowing
No,
that she's a
I
knowing that
remember
she's
her
a
being a first year in the fight against that squiggly jellyfish guy, squiggly guy.
okay. See, I might have just breezed past that, but that's actually kind of cool. And of course, your whole and learning about this that all the people on the left side proceeded into the first round. That's just funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rarely happens in tournaments, but it did in this one.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I do like how she gets an interest in wanting to fight Frey, but Yakuto is just like, nope, let's see, I'm going to win. Nothing against you personally, but I must kill you in order to advance to meet God.
I mean, who knows? There could be a situation to where Setsuna and Frey do maybe not a serious fight, but like a skirmish. That's a thing that could still happen.
Mm-hmm. It really depends if if Yakuto fails to get her on his side.
Mm-hmm.
Which, to be fair, I don't think I really see coming.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do like how you got to briefly explain their brief moments of power just causing explosions, and they're able to catch up a bit. It's even though some of the students were thinking like, now Yakuto's got this.
Yeah.
As
Also, the other thing I find fascinating about this is that both their inner monologues start with "I can't lose." They're both thinking the same thing when they
Yep.
both start monologuing,
Mm-hmm.
and both thinking about a loved one. Yagito's thinking about his family, and Setsuna thinking about Yuri.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if I had to guess, maybe Yuri was probably like
First
her.
love or something.
I was going to say younger brother, but maybe that could be the case too.
Yeah, that could also be the case. Do a more familiar type of love, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but yeah, I do like how once she starts remembering Yuri, she starts taking the lead, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also partly because she surprises him with the words to kill God, which arguably is actually the highlight of this chapter, to be honest. I mean, the other stuff was good, but it's like compared to this is like a lot more like, ooh, the plot thickens, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's see. Now, granted, like I think I said earlier before, don't know if the Yakuto will actually succeed, but has like his eyes set on recruiting her.
I mean, he has a way of drawing people together in his own
Yeah.
words. So
Yeah, the only question is he going to be with this character, or is this going to be his like first failure since I guess you could say Hyun?
maybe. I mean, I think this could. I mean, I do think she. I think once he tells her, she's gonna start thinking like, "Wait, you have the same end goals too." So maybe. Okay, what? Maybe there's two possibilities here. Maybe they find a way to fake the outcome. Maybe of like one person dying, right?
So basically, she becomes a necromancer for Mikoto.
Either that or like say she goes underground.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Like she gives it her all. Like there's a lot of smoke and like let's just say like you see like like nothing but dust from the outcome of the fight. And everyone's just like, dude, Setuna's gone.
Arguably, yes, though. Granted, that means that let's see, we'll have to wait and see if Hero can actually figure out how to use the character then afterwards. But yeah, if you go with that sort of method, but yeah, but yeah. So basically, you have that. Let's see, Yakoto being caught off guard and getting damaged. So I do like that. No one actually, and I do like how no one seems to actually understand what's going on, not hearing the sentence in the conversation they would be having. which allows him to have a bit more of a private chat with her. Though it
That's
depends if
true.
God has like a more of a super hearing. But overall, I'd say this chapter's pretty good. The conclusion of Frey versus Lausanne. Let's see, like the end of Lausanne and another demon for teachers gone.
Okay, let me ask you this: how did you feel about it personally?
I mean, I wish I would have liked another chapter, but I don't mind Lausanne being taken down. Let's see, now I guess. Let's see, granted, I thought it'd be much longer into the story, but it seems like there might be some a little more bigger, more dangerous enemies that God can bring in. Though, granted, I am curious to see what will happen with Frey now, since she's
I mean,
basically come.
I was just gonna say this does also lead more into what Hero set up to where he said he wanted Dead Rock to be more of like a limited run series, right? So
Mhm.
I mean, who knows? Maybe this is just the path he's going down that he kind of planned. So
Yeah. Though, granted, let's see, there's room for like another group of villains, but I'm curious to see with Frey, since her character arc is basically being
yeah,
complete.
Frey is the one I'm kind of curious on right now because you and I both talked about this that Lozen was like her big thing, like
Mhm.
her big goal. So
It's like what you do after Sasuke kills Itachi. But yeah.
but see, unlike with Masashi, I have more faith in Hero given with how he's written, like Ellie. Like, okay, and listen, I don't want to hear anyone bitching about Lucy right now, okay? Because if y'all have read the latest 100 Years Quest chapter,
I
oh
have.
my god, Lucy is about to like go on another level.
Yes. Let's see, in many ways, the level I think no one expected her to reach.
But yeah, you've got Lucy, you've got Rebecca, like I have faith in him when it comes to the way he writes, his female characters from a you know storytelling standpoint. So
Visual one, he's a bit more mixed.
yeah, depending on the female character too. I mean, I'll say this, and it's surprising. Frey, I would say, is a lot more closer to Ellie in that respect than I would say Lucy.
Possibly.
I mean,
Though,
again, like the only extent of her fan service so far has just been her wearing a top. That's it.
yeah, though I will admit, it's starting to remind me a little bit of Lucy and Rebecca. To some extent, but
So,
I don't know. Not maybe it's just looking at the wrong panel right now, but but
oh, well, this is a you thing.
oi, 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 oi! No, don't you dare! Don't you start!
You're the one who said you were looking at the wrong panel. I didn't even say it. That was you.
But I don't know. I just don't see. I definitely think the power of her cheering. Might be more of a
You
more on the
said her
loose
cheer?
side.
Let me see.
You know, the one that her arm up in the air.
See, I wasn't even focused on that.
And it's just the one I was scrolling up while I'm giving my thoughts. But yeah, we got the we got let's see. But anyway, I'm moving on from that. We've got like God explaining sort of a root origin thing of another power up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's see. The plot twist that Bibbo is not an insect but a human. It's humanish, if you will. That has a connection to Yakuto.
Yeah.
And see him wants to see him, and that the fight with like Yakuto versus Setsuna is actually a fight between two people that want to kill and guard and avenge their loved ones.
Yep.
And let's see, and we'll now have to wait and see how that bit is resolved, which I assume will just be for the entire one chapter, and then because it seems like most fights last one chapter.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you have to keep in mind about this. The amount of pages you get for a monthly Dead Rock chapter is like 2 chapters worth of material. So
Yeah, though granted, that'll still be pretty quick in an let's see here a Mashima fight if you go by the anime.
yeah. Which I'm actually curious about. Well, okay, I'll say this. I think the Dead Rock manga, in my opinion, By the time you even get the announcement of a Dead Rock anime, I think 100% Dead Rock will probably be close to finishing by that point. I think.
Fair enough.
Because I mean, keep in mind about this Volume 4, at least in Japan, that comes out tomorrow. So, and for everyone here in the US, well, first volume comes out next month. Oh my god.
All right. Fair enough, but yeah. But basically, if I had to give this chapter, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. I don't think it's as good as the last one, but I think in terms of like pure action. But I do like the sort of plot twists you've got with like let's see, possible friend or foe of Yokoto's with both cases, pretty much.
You know what I find so funny?
What's that?
That's literally what I rated the chapter too. So for me, that'd be like an amazing rating.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, basically we're in agreement. Anyway, LuckyRave, thank you for joining me. I will admit this lasted much longer than I intended, but I will see you next time, and hopefully,
Of course.
though granted, hopefully you will be able to join me for something I have planned for Valentine's week. When we do it, that remains to be a mystery.
It should be fun. And like, listen, for anyone who's a big fan of Dead Rock, it's funny we say this because chapter just came out yesterday, right? But really, when you look at it, we're only like just 4 weeks away. Then you'll get the next chapter. That's it.
Yep. By the way, I am Blue Star Saber.
I'm LuckyRave.
And we are signing off. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for joining us and listening in. Bye for now.
Laters.